Today, from M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore, Maryland, this is the NFL on EA Sports. We'll see Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens taking on Baker Mayfield and the Cleveland Browns.
With Chesapeake Bay gleaming in the distance, we are inside M&T Bank Stadium near the Inner Harbor in Baltimore, Maryland. Here's a scene a short time ago. The Ravens introduced to this sellout crowd, and through a sea of pyrotechnics, out they came from the tunnel. We're set to go as the Ravens get ready to match up with the Cleveland Browns. Started, and off we go from M&T Bank Stadium. This one fielded at the 5. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. The Ravens offense going to work, and as usual, it's Lamar Jackson, the former MVP of the league, at the helm.
And no one can run the football like Lamar Jackson from the quarterback position. The most dynamic guy with the ball in his hands since probably Michael Vick. Got more accurate throwing the football each and every year at Louisville. But how about this one? A first-round pick in 2017, the number 32 pick in the first round. The last guy to do that at Louisville, Teddy Bridgewater, the same exact pick when he came out.
And they'll begin by running the option. And right away, they're going to stack him up right at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the game's first play. And it's second down now. Well, for that being an option play, there really weren't too many options available for him, were there?
No, there weren't. And at least he was able to get back to the line of scrimmage. So they didn't lose anything, but you're exactly right. Nowhere to go.
Second and 10. Jackson from the shotgun. Eluding the pressure right. He'll try and run it. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Lamar Jackson, such a threat with those legs, able to improvise and get the first.
Well, that was man coverage. So once he decides to run with the football, there's no one to account for him, and he turns it into a nice gain.
Jackson fakes the give and keeps it. And he's going to take this across the 50 into Browns territory. 6 yards there on the keeper. It's second down. A little do-it-yourself run right there and a nice gain.
And I like that he knew that that was about all he was going to get. So he did a nice job of protecting himself, took care of the football, took what the defense gave him. If they continue to allow him to do that, they'll find their way taking what they can all the way to the end zone.
Jackson going to run again. Jackson hit, and he lost the football. And this is picked up by the Browns. And the possession is theirs at their own 43-yard line. Here's the Cleveland offense, and here's Baker Mayfield, former Heisman Trophy winner, ready to go at quarterback.
It's okay if I give him a few props right here. Do you mind?
I think he's earned it. Go ahead.
Okay, how about a guy who was a two-time walk-on, who later became a two-time Big 12 Player of the Year, has the most touchdown passes in Big 12 history with 129, a Heisman Trophy into his credit, and took his team to the college football playoff semifinal twice while at Oklahoma.
Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 43. Mayfield now after the fumble recovery. Got a man, that's Rashard Higgins. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a first down.
Well, that certainly has to feel good, and it's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
First carry for Nick Chubb, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know, you know better than I, he has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
Play fake, Mayfield. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Marcus Peters. And he'll bring this one back to the 29.
Mayfield pass.
That was a really nice interception. I think it illustrates the differences between playing man and playing zone. When you're in man, all you're focused on is the receiver in front of you. But when you're in zone, you're allowed to read the quarterback's eyes and go to the ball. That's exactly what happened on that play.
Baltimore set to take over here for their second possession of the game. They got across the 50 last time, but fumbled and turned it over, so they'll be looking to have a short-term memory here, Mr. Davis.
Not only a short-term memory, but a whole lot better ball security. Because if they take care of the ball, continue to move it, their chances of scoring some points, they've got to feel pretty good about. They thought they had things moving in the right direction last time. Fumbles, they don't just affect you on offense, they affect your overall team, because now your defense has to make that stand up.
Jackson gonna run. He'll have a first down past the 40 as they finally wrangle him in at the 48. First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards. And this, I mean, it's certainly something to watch out for. He is not afraid to call his own number on plays like that, and here he takes it for good yardage.
And we know this defense prepared all week for this, but sometimes when you see it in person, it's a whole different ball game, and all that preparation, it goes right out the window.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. From the gun, Jackson, and incomplete. Crisis averted. Almost picked. Instead, second down.
A lot of times it's that first read that you had. Maybe you get it in pre-snap, and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. First carry for the former Buckeye, J.K. Dobbins. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Give him 14 on that one and a first down.
Well, I can certainly tell my age, partner, because when I was a kid, running backs like J.K. Dobbins with over 2,000 yards in their final season in college, they went early in the draft. Instead, he somehow lasted until the 2nd round. But how great is it to get a guy with that ability who can run it inside, run to the perimeter, and catch the football out of the backfield? To be able to get him in the 2nd round, that's what I call a steal.
On 1st and 10, it's Jackson rolling to his right. Now he'll pull it down. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's 2nd down. Well, we've seen Jackson already have success in the first half running the football, and he gets good yardage on the ground again there. I mean, I know it's a $64,000 question, CD, but how do they contain him better?
You have to win against the blockers ahead of you. If those guys even occupy a defender for even a half a second, then Lamar Jackson is gone. You've got to take those blockers and move them so that you have clear vision of Lamar Jackson, and hopefully you can hem him in.
He'll get 2 on the keeper, but it becomes now a 3rd down.
Anytime you decide to use your quarterback as a runner, most of the time when you design a play, you're expected to break a little bit bigger than this one, because when you run him on short gains, your risk reward and him taking hits, I'm not sure that's the payoff they were looking for.
They'll try to run for it with Dobbins. And he's going to get the 1st down as they bring him down at the 23. The drive stays alive, a 3rd down gain of 8.
How best to describe that one? I'd say right down Broadway on that run.
A straight ahead running. I think that might be something we see a lot of between the tackles today.
Well, he's enjoying things so far here this afternoon. Sees a crease and bursts through it for a solid gain.
They go play action here on 1st down. He'll buy some time right. He's going to take off with it. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. I guess no need to force it when you can do that instead. 1st down, 18-yard gain.
Man, defensively, that hurts. They got him out of his rhythm. They had him hemmed in, but somehow he was able to tuck it away and get away for a gain.
Here we go now on 1st and goal.
Hey, here you go. Watch the pass. Check.
They'll run with Dobbins. And he's going to get him about 3 yards closer. He's down to about the 2.
Well, every now and then we have to let a cliche fly, partner. And in this case, what do they say in the NFL? Your best ability is often your availability. This is an extremely durable kid coming out of Ohio State. Carried the ball every time they even thought about running it. Wore down defenses and able to break big runs late in games. J.K. Dobbins going to Baltimore, an absolute perfect fit.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of 1, and that's going to bring up an interesting 3rd and goal.
No daylight for him to run through there, and he ran into the defensive tackle, and that guy blocks a whole lot of daylight as it is. He is truly a big man who just made a big play.
From back at the 3 now, this is 3rd and goal. Option play, and they'll hand to Dobbins. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
That's a really alert defense there, because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
So on 4th down, here's the Ravens Pro Bowl kicker Justin Tucker out onto the field. This will be just a 21-yard attempt. And Tucker's kick right there, it's good. And the Ravens strike first at 3's him.
Ravens 3, Browns nothing.
So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. So I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone and get you 6?
Tucker now following the made field goal, set to kick it away. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27.
On the return, the Browns take over 1st and 10 at their own 20.
There's Baker Mayfield as he and the Browns offense comes back out. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now 1st and 10 at their own 27. First carry now for Kareem Hunt. And he'll get about 3 here as he's out to the 30.
Ball carrier.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Back to the ground. This time it's Chubb. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness. He's the whole package, and that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
Set here defensively, 6 DBs in the game. From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. And he's got his man, that's Landry. And he is going to have a Browns 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Mayfield on target to Landry for a Browns 1st down.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
Mayfield on play action. He's got the hook up to Odell Beckham. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another 1st down.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people, but you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Mayfield hands it off to Chubb. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Mayfield looks to throw. And he gets it to his running back, Nick Chubb. And he gets it down a yard or 2 shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds. 7 yards there and a 1st down. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on 1st quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
And he's going to be taken down with the 1st down at the Ravens 16.
A gain of 14.
A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks. So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Mayfield finding Odell Beckham with a touchdown pass. And the Browns have taken the lead. Good bounce-back drive right there through the pick on drive number 1. Drive number 2 leads them right down the field into the end zone.
Agree totally. Excellent bounce back, tremendous poise, confidence never lost, and obviously he transmitted that to his teammates as well. What a really nice drive.
Cody Parkey is on now for the point after. And this is up and good to make it 7-3. That time a 9-play drive. And it's capped off by the Browns touchdown. Now after the score, it's Parkey on to kick it away. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped at the 23-yard line. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And a methodical drive last time, but they couldn't get that knockout blow. They had to settle for 3.
But you got to like what they've been doing along the way, right? It's almost like the body blows, the setup punch. As you said, they didn't get the knockout blow here, but that doesn't mean it can't come later in the game on another possession. And the defense on the other side,
maybe a little gas,
yeah,
right?
A little tired. And if nothing else, they just feel relieved getting upfield, only giving up 3. They don't exactly feel like they've handled the offense.
And they'll run the option to start the drive. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. A big-time gain there on the keeper, using his legs to hurt him. 1st down.
And it is still early, just the 1st quarter. But you start prorating the numbers, and we might be in for some history. I mean, that last run puts him over 100 yards already, and we've still got 3 quarters to go.
So the big play moves him all the way across midfield. It's 1st and 10 from the 45. Jackson with a handoff to Dobbins on the option. Malcolm Smith there for the stop.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Smith. It's a gain of 5. Brings up 2nd and 5 at the 40-yard line.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. From the gun, it's Jackson. That's caught by the former Sooner, Mark Andrews. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down.
That was a route run, not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Jackson on the give to Dobbins. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave him 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
Second and 11. On the option, it's Jackson. He'll get the first down and more inside the 20. And he's going to get it down to the 14-yard line. That one, a gain of 20 and a first down. I tell you, there is no antidote for speed, even at the quarterback position, as he keeps it himself and turns it into good yardage.
And it still takes time for a defender to react. Even as quarterbacks carry the ball more and more in today's NFL, they're still a little bit in disbelief and realize, oh my goodness, he's running with the ball. He may be 8, 10, 12 yards downfield at that point.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Jackson going to hold on to it again. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. Only a yard on the keeper, and it'll be 2nd down. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
Now it's 2nd and 9. And now Jackson will look to throw it. His pass caught at the 4. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Lamar Jackson hooking up with Mark Andrews. And the Ravens have retaken the lead.
As a general rule, quarterbacks don't want to lock in on a receiver before the ball is snapped. But in this case, based on the matchup he thought he was going to get, it was favorable for his tight end. He locked in on him early and found him for a touchdown.
Justin Tucker for the extra point. And it's through, and that makes the lead 10-7. So that drives 7 plays in length. And it's capped off with a Ravens touchdown. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And he'll be stopped up at the 25.
1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Browns drive about to get started. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
10-7 our score after 1 right here on EA Sports. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Out of the gun, they run it with Hunt. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. And they get 17 more on that one and another 1st down. Although his reputation as a speedy runner precedes him, it's always fun to watch him work.
It is eye-opening, isn't it? Because when you see him get the ball and just go, in addition to that speed, it helps out his blockers. They don't have to hold blocks for long because he's just going to speed right past them.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. Mayfield now. And finding the tight end Hooper. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
Well, it certainly doesn't matter if it's been through the air like on this play or on the ground. I don't know what's going on with this defense. In a sense, they've been AWOL on this drive so far. 3 plays, 3 first downs given up. They've got to find answers, and they've got to find them quick.
On first down, they'll run with Chubb. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Calais Campbell on the stop.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Running with Hunt here out of the shotgun. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
On 3rd down, Mayfield under pressure, and he'll go down back at the 26-yard line. Derek Wolfe popping in for the sack.
Well, the beauty of screen passes is they take a little time to develop, and they can often hit big, but sometimes they take too long to develop, and sometimes you get sacked.
Yeah, what's perfectly called for a defense to attack a screen?
Typically a blitz, and even though people think that the screen operates against the blitz, if you have the blitz called and you still cover the screen, now that allows your blitzers to get there.
Now Cody Parkey out to try the field goal. On the right hash, it's a 43-yard attempt. And Parkey's kick is good. And that will knot us up at 10.
The game at 10.
So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
Yeah, things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front 7? As they got closer to their goal line, things stiffened a little bit, forced the field goal.
All level now at 10 apiece as the kick's away. This will make it into the end zone, and he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25-yard line. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field, and now last drive so successful with the ground game, ending in a touchdown. Do you stick with that formula?
That would be the number one thing you would think of, but so many guys now would look at it and say, we've got them set up so well for play action, now's the time to take a shot.
Yeah.
But, you know, there was a big-time coach in the state of Ohio who once said, if you throw the ball, if you put it in the air, 3 things can happen, and 2 of them are bad.
Is that Woody
He would have kept it on the ground.
They'll start on the ground with Dobbins, and not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
He was brought down by Melvin.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Operating from the gun. Jackson got his man complete over the middle. It's Andrews. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 16 yards, a first down.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
Jackson on first down. And that'll be complete to Dobbins. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field, and here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
Throwing now, Jackson on first down. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's second down.
Now, that was not a bad scramble there on first down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable second and short.
41-yard line.
Second down and 3. A shotgun snap and a give to Dobbins. And the lane closes up quickly as he'll get about 3 down to the 38.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
This is 3rd and 1. Very likely 4-down territory, even if they don't get it, though. Dobbins going to take the handoff on the option. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. They're able to convert with a gain of 4.
Well, partner, what do you think? Might have been 4-down territory if they didn't pick it up, but...
Yeah, it's a moot point now. I was curious, so if they didn't get it there, would they have gone for it? I guess we'll never know.
Yeah, we didn't have to make that call, but I have a feeling both of us would have said, go for it.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. And here's Jackson on the option. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. That's good for a Raven first down, 15 yards there. It looked like almost a miscommunication defensively because once he decided to keep it, he had pretty smooth sailing.
Yeah, it became a question of, wait a minute, who's got the quarterback? And when you talk about miscommunication, it's supposed to be called assignment football on the defensive side of the ball, but the assignment gets mixed up. That's the end result.
So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20. B.J. Goodson there on the tackle. A nice play design there with the touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice. They drilled on the play, then they drilled him.
2nd down and 8. From the gun, Jackson on the move to his left. And now he's going to use his legs. It's just a gain of a couple there on the scramble, and now it's 3rd down.
So many times we talk about having good eye discipline when you're playing defense, making sure your eyes are in the proper place on a given play. Looks like that discipline came to the front there, didn't it? They were able to hold him for a short gain when he took off running.
The Ravens on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. He can run for it, and he will. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. Good coverage downfield led to him taking off, picking up the first down on a 13-yard run.
Now that's disappointing for the defense. They had the advantage, had excellent coverage all over the field, but they let him get away, scramble, and pick up a first down, and inside the 5-yard line.
They'll come out in the pistol. They'll try to run with Dobbins. And he will force his way into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Taking it in from a yard out. And the Ravens have broken the tie.
They got a little bit of everything on that run. Offensive line creating some space, but how about the guy running behind his pads into the end zone?
What does that mean when a guy says running behind his pad?
It means that he's going to be a physical runner. That way he's able to use his shoulder pads, his forearms, anything to ward off people and power his way forward.
Tucker now to add the point after.
The extra point.
He's got it as they go up by a total of 17-10. A pretty long drive that time. 11 plays all told. And it's finished off by a touchdown run from J.K. Dobbins. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Fielded a couple yards into the end zone. And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25. Baker Mayfield leads the offense out for their next possession. He's had a solid start to this game, but bottom line is they're losing, so he doesn't care about his stats. He just wants to right the ship on the scoreboard.
He wants to actually increase his stats because he feels like if he does, that means things will get better for his team, maybe get them back into the ball game or into the lead. In these situations, I remember playing with a quarterback once where he actually ran out onto the field first ahead of everyone else just to say, guys, let's go. Try and create that energy, create that spark.
So far, he has 1 touchdown, 1 interception. He'll be looking for that second touchdown now. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
From the 29, Mayfield. Open man is Higgins. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. 16 yards, a first down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Mayfield on first down. It's caught over the middle. Hooper. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. 11 more on that one and another first down.
Nice job there of utilizing his big target. He didn't overthink it. Understands the catch radius. Understands that he knows how to use his body to keep defenders away from the ball. And puts it right out there for the nice pickup.
So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Here's Mayfield. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And he's going to get this inside the 30. He's been a one-man wrecking crew these last couple of plays. This time 18 more and a first down.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one. And that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little gain. On first down, they'll run with Hunt. Linebacker Patrick Queen bringing him down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. A run for Nick Chubb. And he's going to be down close to a first down at the Ravens' 15-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled him up throughout the game because that was his longest run of this contest.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. He's got a man. It's his fullback. The completion, but they go in the wrong direction. A loss of yards, and now they're dealing with a 2nd and long.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain there, and it brings forth a 3rd and long.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
9th play of the drive coming up, and certainly not an easy one on 3rd and long. Working out of the gun, Mayfield. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And they will get to him at the 7 and stop him short of the 1st down marker. They do get 12, but they'll be marked short. And that leads to a 4th down.
And that big gain may just change the thought process here on 4th down. I think in the red zone, they might now consider going for it on 4th down.
So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. From the right hash, and this one just a chippy. The kick by Parkey is good, and that will cut this lead back down to 4 now. It's 17-13.
Browns 13.
No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
Parkey now following the made field goal to kick this one off. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
At their own 29-yard line.
The football back over to Baltimore and J.K. Dobbins. He's been good. His guys are winning. So far, the recipe working here in the 2nd quarter.
And he doesn't like to just tote the rock. He wants to carry his team on his back, and that's what he's done throughout this game.
Yeah, he's done that. He'll be hoping to continue that trend. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10, just shy of the 30. And from the shotgun, he'll throw. Over the middle, complete. It's Andrews. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the 1st.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
An option handoff here to Dobbins. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
A reminder, coming up at halftime, Jonathan Coachman will join us from Orlando with our halftime report, but business to take care of before we get there.
A 2-minute drill before the coach's 2-minute drill.
This pass complete. Jackson finding Andrews. And they're going to have another 1st down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 39. The Ravens get a new set of downs, give him 17 on that pickup.
They really love to get him into one-on-one opportunities, and this is one way. Work him out of the slot and create a mismatch. Who's going to cover him? Corner, safety, linebacker? He's got a way to beat all of those positions.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Jackson from the shotgun. That's complete to his running back, J.K. Dobbins. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and it'll make it a 2nd down.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Jackson, they set up the screen for Dobbins. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. Jackson looking to throw on 3rd. Out to his left. He may try and run for this. The Ravens going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Now Jackson on 1st down. Caught by Snead over the middle. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down.
Brings up 2nd and 1 at the 13-yard line.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. He'll run it. The quick, and he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. A 13-yard touchdown run, and the Ravens will add on to their lead. Well, that was all Lamar Jackson all the time on that drive, both through the air and in the end with the touchdown run.
Yeah, how about him doing things a little bit on the reverse side there, Brandon, because he softened him up throwing the football and opened up the running lanes. And when he gets a little bit of a sliver, he's gone. And that's exactly what he did there.
And that one pushes the lead up to 11. So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays. And it was capped off by the touchdown run that came from Lamar Jackson. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Fielded in the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on 1st down. And it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops. And if it does, that can alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work, well, then you just run the clock out and go to the locker room.
1st down, Mayfield. And he completes it to Hunt. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
Complete.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of 1st downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
So we have reached halftime here in an 11-point contest. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, right, Brandon. Thanks very much. And welcome in, everyone, to this slimmed-down version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. We saw a terrific first half from the dual-threat quarterback, Lamar Jackson. His guys have the lead as we'll hand it back over to our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3.
Let me breathe for a minute, man. Just let me breathe. Just let me breathe for a minute, man. Just let me breathe for a minute. Just let me breathe. It's too hot, drop the top off the wagon. Lay back, flying like dragon.
The Browns going to see the football first, but they trail here as we resume play on EA Sports. That'll be taken about a yard deep. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. Here's the Browns offense now getting set to start off this third quarter. Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now, 1st and 10 at their own 24. From the gun, he'll set up to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 22 yards on the catch and run, a first down.
For many teams, the evaluation of tight ends has really changed. We used to wonder about how they would block first and foremost. Now we want to know how these guys can run because we envision them in offenses, catch the ball. How much yardage can they gain after that?
And that on display there for a good pickup. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Mayfield. And bringing it in right side here, Beckham. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. It's a first down, his 4th catch of the game after having 3 in the first half.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. They run. Chubb. And boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
They go play action. Mayfield. And he's got his man on the crossing route. That's Landry. And down to the 20 he'll go before heading out of bounds. 23 yards the pickup there.
First down, Cleveland.
Mayfield leaves it for Hunt on the draw. And he's going to push his way down to about the 12. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. A good run, got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Hunt. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. A 5-yard gain, and now they're set up 1st and goal.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. And it's caught. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Mayfield finding Odell Beckham with a touchdown pass. And the Browns are back within a score.
I know Paul Revere talked about by land or by sea, right? You know, 1 by land, 2 by sea. He didn't mention air because right now we're seeing a big-time performance, aren't we? That's 2 touchdowns so far in this game.
Where'd you pull that one from?
And, you know, every now and then I actually listened in history class.
And you're just a scholar all the way around. You're reading all the time. I like that you fit that into the broadcast.
You know, I just grab a nugget when I can.
From the gun, Mayfield. And no, it falls incomplete. So the 2-point conversion, no good.
I don't know about you, but I can't wait for a few years of 2-point tries and see what the data tells us, because a lot of teams want to throw the ball in this situation, this time unsuccessfully. I just wonder if maybe running the ball might be the way to go.
With it moved up from the 3 to the 2, you would think maybe a few more attempts at running.
I think stats over time may bear out that running the ball will at least be the equal of throwing it in that situation.
Now after the score, it's Parkey on to kick it away. Taking it about the 1. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line.
Take over 1st and 10 at their own 27-yard line.
The Ravens offense getting ready now for their first possession of the second half. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 27. Out of the gun, he'll throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup. You know, Lamar Jackson last season, the first NFL quarterback with 3,000 or more passing yards and 1,000 or more rushing yards in the same season.
And we've seen both of those talents on display here today. We just saw another completed pass. And everyone knew coming out of college he could run the ball. But for some reason, we didn't analyze it throwing the way we should have. I think every time he completes a pass, he says to himself, take that, evaluators. You guys really missed the boat on me.
37-yard line.
Here's Dobbins. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3.
Well, that's not a run that's going to make any of the highlight tapes, but they've been moving it well all game on the ground. This is another one that keeps them moving forward.
7.
It looks like a nickel set now for the Browns on 3rd down. From the gun, it's Jackson. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he will have a Ravens first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. 16 yards on that one at a Raven first.
Whenever we talk about moving the sticks and controlling the football, there's a great example right there. Those are the 3rd downs you need to convert to win football games. We're in the 3rd quarter of this one, and this is a tight one. In order to maintain pace, keep the ball away from the other team, and put points on the board, those are the plays they need to continue to convert.
So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 43. From the gun, Jackson, quick slant to Brown. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run.
Some think that teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
They go back to the ground with Dobbins. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last two plays.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
Jackson. Now he's got it. And the Ravens are going to be set up with a 1st and goal on a pass play that moves them all the way down to the 1.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on 1st down, hitting the tight end there. Now it brings up a 2nd and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone. 2nd and goal from the 1. Jackson going to run, and this one will wind up with him losing yardage back to the 4-yard line. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
No question, he's so dangerous down here near the goal line. The safeties, they have to be involved in run support against a quarterback like this, and in turn, they're going to ask their teammates to be involved as well.
Line of scrimmage at the 4. Here's 3rd and goal. Operating from the gun. Jackson. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. Trying to defend the out route there, got the PI call.
And you know what's difficult about that one is sometimes you want to make the undercut move and go for the football, and other times you just want to hang on the upfield shoulder and make the tackle. I think he got caught in between and created a foul.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Baltimore. J.K. Dobbins. His 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Ravens will extend their lead. Circle that drive because that might be one to remember. Well executed to give them a little cushion.
Well, let's take it into the boxing ring. You talk about them commanding it, keeping the fight where they wanted to, whether it was in the center of the ring or putting them on the ropes because it was jab, jab, jab. And finally, the haymaker to put that drive away.
Tucker now for the extra point. And this one gives his guys a 12-point lead. A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all. And it's finished off by a touchdown run from J.K. Dobbins. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Taken in the end zone. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback.
At their own 25-yard line.
Ready to take over again on offense. Out comes Cleveland. Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. He'll throw from the gun and finding the tight end Hooper. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Play fake. Mayfield. He's going to drop this one down for Chubb. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
That was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? 2nd and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the 1st down, and that's exactly what he did.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now Chubb. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
But these guys are going to chop into that deficit. They're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
Second and 11 now. Mayfield off the play fake. Going deep here for Landry. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And he's going to be taken down with the 1st down at the Ravens 36. He got 29 yards that time. 1st down. So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 36. Now Mayfield. He's got a man wide open. It's Landry. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another 1st down. Now they return to the ground game. Chubb. He's got the 1st down inside the 10. And he gets it all the way down to the 3. Now it appears we've got an injured Raven down there on the field. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. They'll try to run with Hunt, and he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. A 3-yard touchdown run, and the Browns have cut it back within a score.
I know the play ends up in the end zone with one person carrying the ball, but how about that big mass of humanity that guided him to that spot?
Yeah, they got there, but I love the dive. Always a fan of the dive. Now Parkey for the extra point. And this is back to a 5-point game. So the drive winds up going 75 yards in 7 plays. And Kareem Hunt, the one to finish it off, as he did so with a touchdown run. Now after the score, it's Parkey on to kick it away. That'll be taken about a yard deep. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there. The Ravens offense now, they get set to head back on the field. Pretty important third quarter drive for them. Momentum has sort of shifted the other direction after that last touchdown as they nurse this small lead. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 26. He'll set up the throw from the gun. A short throw caught by Andrews. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating, there he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
On 2nd down, a run with Dobbins. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play, and now they're faced with a 3rd and 1. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL, and he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it 1 more time, so make sure you get in shape.
They'll go again with Dobbins. And he will have 1st down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. Give him the 3rd down conversion, 5 yards on the play.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
Inside 4 minutes to go, 3rd quarter.
56.
Throwing on 1st down, it's Jackson. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
Normally being a big-bodied receiver plays to their advantage downfield. Go up and make the catch, take the hit, and pick up yardage. But in this case, the hit was timed really well and popped it free from his grasp.
3rd quarter of a tight football game as we come up on a 2nd and 10. To throw again. Jackson looking for Andrews again. He's got him this time. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right in midfield at the 50. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be 3rd and less than a yard. The last catch nearly got him a 1st, but it did not, and they'll try to convert on 3rd and inches. They'll try to run for it with Dobbins, and he has the 1st down yardage before they bring him down right at the 45. 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue.
Brandon, they're still in the lead, but momentum's certainly been going the opposite direction. So to me, that's a really important pickup there on 3rd down.
Try and regain some confidence, and you're right. They need to stem the tide a little bit. That certainly helped. Jackson, he's going to keep it himself. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. It'll be a pickup of 5 on the keeper. It's second down.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense gets a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. Option play, and they'll hand to Dobbins. Still going. Down the numbers. There he goes. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. J.K. Dobbins, 39 yards. As the Ravens push further out in front. That seemed pretty ideal there for the offense, Charles. You take a little bit of time off the clock here in the third quarter, decent length drive, and you pad your lead as well at the end of it.
And what it does is let you feel like you're in control of this game, even more so than a 2-touchdown lead, right? Because you have taken that time off, as you noted, which means they couldn't get you off the field. You ran your playbook the way you wanted to, and you gave your defense some rest. What a big-time drive in that situation.
And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. So that drive in total 8 plays. And it's finished off by a touchdown run from J.K. Dobbins. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Baltimore. Now Donovan Peoples-Jones. And out a little across the 25 to the 27.
Jones on the return. The Browns take over 1st and 10. At their own.
Heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2-minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now 1st and 10 at their own 27. He fakes the give here and looks to throw. He'll let it go deep for Beckham. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in.
I'm sure this isn't a novel thought, but maybe run some simpler routes instead of trying to get it all back in one shot. Defense certainly appears to be ready for him. Try and get it back little by little instead of in big chunks.
We're in Baltimore, third quarter action, 2nd and 10. Mayfield hands it off to Chubb. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Working out of the gun, Mayfield into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off here by Jimmy Smith, and the return here will go to the 31-yard line.
Well, this had trouble written all over from the start. He's got 2 extra defensive backs in the game he's got to deal with. They're in a dime set. So everywhere he's looking, he's seeing a different color jersey. And sure enough, this one winds up being intercepted.
This Ravens offense heads back out there, led by Lamar Jackson. And the passing game, I mean, look at the numbers. It's fallen off. When a team is struggling, sometimes you look at the quarterback. When the quarterback starts to struggle, who goes over and picks him up?
Yeah, that's always a big one, isn't it? Usually, there's a quarterback whisperer somewhere. And what I mean by that is, whether it's an assistant coach, whether it's one of his best friends on the team, someone that can get in his ear, get with him and say, all right, my man, what do you need? What's going on here? So he's one person he can lean on. He's going to have to lean on that guy right now.
He'll pick up 7 there on the first down keeper. That's what he can do, when he keeps the football. It's not a huge gain, but it shows how hard it can be to stop him.
Yeah, and I thought the defense had that one pretty well contained, and in fact, they probably came up and felt pretty good about what they did. Then they looked up and realized he still got good yardage out of it. He's a tough guy to stop.
From the 24, Jackson. Jackson hit, and he lost the football.
Fumble on the play.
When that ball popped free, we could hear it all the way up here. Those guys down on the field alerting everyone of the fumble. He's lucky that his offensive mates picked him up and jumped on it.
Yeah, and you have to think to yourself, and I'm sure they've been echoing it on the sideline and into the huddle. Guys, we have the lead. Just take care of the football. Don't make it easier for them to start to make a comeback.
So possession still theirs, but now they face a third down. Jackson from the shotgun. And that will be incomplete.
Jackson's pass, intended for Willie Snead, incomplete. Results in a 4th down.
So out comes a field goal team now for the second time here today. He hit his first one, this from 44 yards out now. Tucker's kick is good. And that will make this now a 15-point advantage.
Ravens 41, Browns 26.
They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. That's what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
Tucker now following the made field goal, set to kick it away. Peoples-Jones returning. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27.
On the return, the Browns take over 1st and 10 at their own 27-yard line.
The Browns drive about to get started. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. To throw, Mayfield. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
Normally you think the tight end's going to be able to catch the football and handle that contact, but in this case, maybe a little too much target to hit. That one was timed well, incomplete.
So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10. Mayfield now. Escaping the pressure right. He turned that into a nice gain. Gets him 8 yards closer for 3rd down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
The Browns on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. Here it's 3rd and 2. And he's got his man. That's Landry. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. He has a 1st down, and that catch will also put him over 100 yards receiving now on the afternoon. And in a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every 3rd down, like we saw there, magnified, big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to 3rd down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line. Mayfield to throw it. It's caught over the middle. Hooper. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. You got the big lead defensively, willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Throwing, Mayfield. He's going to go up top for the end zone. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
We've seen that the deep ball's been a part of their game plan all afternoon, but they've had trouble hooking up on it, unable to successfully find the end zone over the top.
The Browns on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. Here it's 3rd and 3. Going to the air again with Mayfield. Over the middle and into the hands of his receiver, Landry. And he is going to have a Browns first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. 7 catches for him now, and this last one, a first down.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air, and sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. On the ground, it's Chubb. He'll get it inside the red zone, but only for a couple down to the 19.
He was brought to Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
At the 19-yard line.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Mayfield looks to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Nick Chubb, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down.
Not only did he have a chance to scan the field there, it felt like he had a chance to scan it twice. The protection was that good. Unfortunately for him, the coverage downfield, equally good.
Out of the huddle now for play number 9 on this drive. This is 3rd down and 8. Mayfield. Trying to now Mayfield lost the football, but this will fortunately wind up out of bounds. He opted to go with a scramble, gets 2 yards, and now it's 4th. Can almost see inside his face mask there the look of relief. He coughed it up, but it goes out of bounds. They keep it.
Someone carrying around the lucky horseshoe, aren't they? If I were him, I'd go out and play the lottery after that one. A very fortunate man.
And they're operating in plus territory here. They're thinking points. Definitely don't want to lose the football at this juncture. Okay, so thought they might go for it here, down late. Instead, they trot out the field goal unit from the right hash. This from 33. And Parkey's kick is good. And they're hanging around here as the lead's down to 12.
41. Browns 29.
So he remains perfect, 3 for 3 in the field goal department.
And it's so important for any offense to have an ace like him up their sleeve, isn't it? Because now you know what his range is, and as soon as your offense gets there, you're pretty much counting on 3 points going up on the board.
Cody Parkey.
Parkey now following the made field goal to kick this one off. Taken in at the 3. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
At their own 26-yard line.
Baltimore about ready to go on offense. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 26. Off the play fake, he'll set up to throw it. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. He did an okay job of absorbing the hit, just couldn't secure the football through the catch.
And he was right there on the spot, forced the incompletion. That's something defenders work on all the time. If you're there, make the contact, but continue to work your way through the receiver so that he can't possess the football and turn it into a catch.
They'll roll him out right. He's going to take off with it. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. That one a broken play, but it ends up being a good play. The scramble goes for 20.
And Brandon, this is the time of the game when Jackson could really take over. He's got the defense's legs a little bit tired. He's got them on the run.
Yeah, this defense looks gassed, and you're exactly right. Second half with the lead, this is when Lamar Jackson seems to thrive. On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. Looking left side, Andrews with it complete. And a gain of 4 gets him right to the midfield stripe. They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Jackson going to look to do it himself. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down.
Well, that's the fear any defense has when the quarterback gets involved in the running game. You don't usually account for him, and he's hurting them today.
Yeah, he's been very involved in the running game. Defensively, when you've got the coverage good downfield, how do you account for him, though?
Occasionally, you start to spy him. Take someone who has the same agility, who can dance with him, run with him, and try and keep him in the pocket.
Yeah, it'll be especially critical here as we come down the stretch in the 4th. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 12 yards to pick up there. Good for a Raven first.
Well, partner, for a few years there, we thought this read option play was going to take over the whole NFL. It seemed like everyone was using it, but it has been scaled back considerably in the last few seasons, mainly because people are worried about their quarterbacks getting hit. But when you call it at the right time and you use it properly, you see the type of gains you can get. A nice chunk of yardage there by the quarterback.
And they'll let the quarterback keep it here on 1st and 10. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. Well, he's had success running the football in this one. Yeah, that's undeniable. But that time, the defense was on to it.
And, partner, I think the more you see a play like this, the more they're able to diagnose it quicker and easier for them to defend it. I think you have to dress it up a little bit and show maybe some different formations and looks.
A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. And now Jackson will look to throw it. Jackson hit, and he lost the football.
Baker Mayfield sacked. A fumble on the play.
Much like a running back going through the line, quarterbacks have to be aware of protecting the football as well. He left it exposed that time, wound up having it knocked free, but fortunately, had an alert teammate who was able to get it.
The 22 is the line to gain here on 3rd down. From the gun, it's Jackson. He can run for it, and he will. A great effort there to shed the contact, and it helps him pick up the 1st. Give him 7 on the tuck and run, and it'll get him a new set of downs. That is an absolute backbreaker. That was a design passing play, wasn't a draw. You think you got him stopped, good coverage downfield, and he's able to pick up the 1st with his legs. Defensively, that kicks into your psyche and hurts a little bit, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and here's the thing. Anytime you give up a first down, it hurts you psychologically, but it hurts more when they get it this way because you've covered everything. He didn't have any place to throw the football. He takes off running and picks it up anyway, and now you have to stay on the field for an extra set of downs.
And really could have used that stop trailing here in the fourth. And he's taken down after a gain of 3 as they move it from the 22 to the 19. 3 yards the gain there, second down.
At the Browns' 19-yard line.
Coming to you, coming to you. Check, 93's the mic, 93's the mic.
Jackson sliding out of the pocket. Jackson hit, and he lost the football. And I think the Browns got it. They did.
Jackson on the keeper. Fumble on the
Partner, that one looked like it was over. I mean, they had control, had the football, and the defense had to make a play in order to keep them in the game. That's exactly what they did.
And now that door ajar, 2-score game, so hold on here, not done in the fourth. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. They trail by 2 scores in the fourth, and their defense did its job getting the fumble recovery. Now time to see what this offense has left in the tank. Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now, 1st and 10 at their own 13. Mayfield now after the fumble recovery. And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. Marching in for the sack, Matthew Judon. And no matter what the situation, the O-line just hates that because they feel like they didn't protect little brother back there, right?
Man, that's just so difficult for them because just think about every single play. When you decide to throw the football, you're dealing with some of the best athletes on the planet. You talk about guys, if they weren't playing football, they'd be starring in the NBA at power forward. It's a really difficult task.
On 2nd and 9, Mayfield. This pass complete to Higgins. And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. That one good for 20 on the catch and run.
It's a gain of
fourth quarter. Every drive's so critical, and you figure may only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the second touchdown. You got the first one for the second one to even matter.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. From the gun, Mayfield. And he completes it to Hunt. It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and it'll make it 2nd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
To throw again on 2nd down, Mayfield. Oh, the rookie nearly had the pick. Probably should have had it. 3rd down now.
It certainly didn't appear that that's where he wanted to go with the ball initially, so he tried to get something out of it by dumping it off to his running back unsuccessfully.
The Browns on 3rd down, 3 for 7 so far in this game. This time they face a 3rd and 2. And again, it's Mayfield. This one complete into the hands of Higgins. And he is going to have a Browns first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. They only needed 1 yard on 3rd down. They get 10 instead by going to the air.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
So in Raven territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. Mayfield with it once more. And incomplete on the deep ball. Jarvis Landry, the intended receiver, and it's second down.
They're down 2 scores, and they need a quick one to try and get back into this one. That was one way to try and get it done. Unsuccessful in the attempt, but they have no choice but to keep trying.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. They'll throw again. Here's Mayfield. Now Mayfield lost the football.
Derek Wolf. Lamar Jackson sack.
Fortunate to get that football back, because trailing here in the second half, last thing they needed was to lose the possession.
And the word I think of here is opportunity, because it could have been lost there, their chance to score points. But the opportunity for the defense was to go ahead and really close this game down if they were able to get possession.
On third down, they're at 50%, 4 for 8. This is 3rd and 10. Here's Mayfield, and that is incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
They're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Desperation time. Mayfield on 4th down. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down.
Well, that's a defensive coordinator's got to be happy with that result. They took away all options downfield and forced the incompletion.
Mayfield on first down. To the right side, and he's got Landry complete. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of, until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
Second and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. Now Mayfield. That's out to Chubb, complete. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. Well, correct me if I'm wrong. You're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. On the delay, here's Hunt. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. The ball carrier. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. They'll drop to throw. And this is caught for a Browns touchdown by Landry. The 3-yard touchdown pass. And the Browns are back within a score.
I'm I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed, but if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively there, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right, and if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like, yeah, you know,
doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
Parkey with the extra point, and now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. Now after the score, it's Parkey on to kick it away. Fielded a couple yards into the end zone. And this return will net positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. Coming back out to take the field, Mark Andrews and company. All right, Charles Davis, what do we make of these numbers and what's happened to the big tight end here?
Well, I think a lot of times we talk so much about adjustments and what you're going to do at halftime that maybe we miss what actually goes on, because the sense is that, oh, they go in at the half, they just change everything. That's not really true. A Super Bowl winning quarterback out of New York always used to say, you've worked all week on a game plan. There's a reason you have it. Just either play it better or make subtle tweaks to it. Otherwise, there's no sense even going into a ball game. A lot of times that's what they do. Just find a little subtle thing, one little change, and maybe it can make things a little bit better.
That one whistled against a big right tackle.
You'd think being able to fire out and block, it'd be a lot easier to not commit a holding penalty, but it's tough to keep those guys right in front, isn't it?
Jackson, draw play to Dobbins, and he'll be taken down at the 20 after a gain of just 1. You know, I was going to ask you if maybe they should surprise and pass the ball, but where they're at on the field, I think keep it on the ground, right?
I like where you're going with this one, because field position is going to determine these play calls. And backed up where they are, I don't even think about putting the ball in the air. I tell my running backs, grasp the football, and I tell my offensive line, don't allow any leaks so they get hit immediately when we hand it off.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Jackson, Bryant with a catch right side. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. They're facing a critical 3rd down now as they try to hold on to this lead. And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete. And sensing the momentum maybe changing here a little bit, Charles.
Yeah, this defense is going to get off the field quickly, and their offense got them a touchdown last time they had the ball, so they should get another shot.
Here's Sam Cook now. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. Here's Natson. And he'll be out right at the 35. A very nice punt that time, but they get 11 back on the return. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. Mayfield and the offense now. Down by 5, a minute 47 on the clock. How will this thing pan out? We'll watch as they come up on 1st down. Now Mayfield. Open man is Higgins. And he'll be taken down by the face mask, it appeared. And yes, out come the flags.
Face mask. Defense.
Well, when you're leading in the fourth quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
And now it's 1st and 10, a big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. They'll look to throw. Got an open man. That's David Njoku, the tight end. They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down.
It drives some people crazy to see those short throws underneath. They've got to find a way to gash the defense downfield.
Mayfield trying to get him up to the line as fast as he can. He's back to throw. Looking right sideline, but it's incomplete.
Now we're in the situation where the quarterback's got to take full charge of his huddle. Got to totally command it, make sure all eyes are on him. All focus is locked in. Going to call multiple plays and go over different situations and scenarios to make sure everyone is on the same page.
And now on 3rd down, they'll need to get it to the 36 to pick up the first. He's got Higgins over the middle. And he is going to have a Browns 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Just what the Browns needed there. Good for a gain of 17.
Okay, there's 3 timeouts left, right?
I think you got to use one here, don't you?
No doubt about it. I'd use one right here.
1st down now, but that clock rolling. Mayfield got his man complete over the middle. That's Higgins. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the 1st down completion.
I'm a little surprised right here. They've got 3 timeouts left. The clock's running down, and they aren't using them. Those timeouts do you no good at home. Use them now.
Here's Mayfield, and that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on. 3rd down. A couple extra defensive backs out there in the dime, and because of that, really not many places to throw the football, if any.
And typically, what would you want to do against that dime?
Run the football.
You want to run the ball, but you can't do it in this situation. Not nearly enough time on the clock. You have to really navigate against a tough defense presented against you.
Mayfield to throw. And it's complete. Hooper. And he's across for the touchdown. And in the final minute, that should just about seal it.
On that 3rd down call, the goal was to get the ball to their tight end and pick up a 1st down, but he wasn't satisfied with just that. They got the 1st down. That was the gravy. He decided to take in the whole meal and rumbled in for a touchdown.
So now an extra point doesn't help much. They'll try to go for 2 to make the difference a field goal, and they can lead it by 3. Going to the air again with Mayfield. And no, it's incomplete. So they can't convert for 2, but they still have the lead as we get toward the end of the 4th. So they're unable to stretch it to a 3-point lead. Now you got to be careful on the kickoff because a field goal obviously beats you.
Definitely, and that's why they went for 2. They wanted to make sure a field goal wouldn't beat them. Now they're in a position where they've got to cover well and make sure they don't get into range and put one through the posts.
Now after the score, it's Parkey on to kick it away. fielded right around the 8. And it's a pretty good return here as they'll get this up to the 29.
At their own 29-yard line.
The Ravens offense now, they get set and head back onto the field. They can't do much at this point, partner. This one is going to go down in the loss column.
You don't make up for what has happened during the game in this sequence here. Maybe you hand it off and let someone run the ball if you so choose. But otherwise, just kneel down, call it a day, and try and prepare going forward.
Back to throw. He gets this underneath to Dobbins. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the ball game. Off the play fake to Dobbins, here's Jackson, and that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. This home crowd, they're happy with that call.
I like the way you said happy there, right? The so-called good guys didn't get a call. They feel like it's been that way all afternoon. You feeling their pain?
They finally got one.
Yes, they did.
On 1st and 10, it's Dobbins. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. So now with 6 seconds remaining, we get a timeout on the field. So it's up now to one of the most accurate kickers in NFL history, Justin Tucker. So now with 6 seconds remaining, we get a timeout on the field. So it's up now to one of the most accurate kickers in NFL history, Justin Tucker. This from long, very long range. And his kick is no good. Oh, by the slimmest of margins, he missed it wide to the left. Well, befitting a tight game like this, it all came down to the wire. But in the end, the field goal to win, it goes begging.
Oh, man, that is a tough way to lose a football game. You put yourself in position, and you give yourself a chance. But it's just not meant to be.
Victory all but assured now as they take a knee here, and they're going to escape with a 1-point victory. But Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So that'll do it. For my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry, I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. From Baltimore, so long, everybody.